finally got back from the store. I got new towels for the bathroom. I've been driving the car just to make sure that the car is, hey guys, that the car is running fine. So I'm driving it as much as possible at this point, and so far so good. I haven't had any problems with it. But I was reading my paperwork, and the one thing they didn't tell me when they were talking to me on the phone was the water pump. I noticed that I happened to look down at my paperwork, and they said my water pump is leaking a little bit. So it's not a big deal. So I'm not even going to worry with it right now. I'll just keep it filled. I mean, it must be a small leak. That's all I can think of. But anyways, I'll wait for a few people to get in, and then we'll get started. We're just going to go over a few things with Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and has not been seen since. And of course, Katie and Chris haven't been the most forthcoming people in the world, and therefore we really don't know, what's going on. Nick Barris, I've been hearing that that there's just, some of the people that I used to collaborate with are been very, very unkind and nasty to Seth for a variety of reasons, but it all comes back to hurt feelings and a clique or a loyalty or whatever. And it's been really sad to watch. It's been really sad that I've had to disconnect from so many people. But now seeing that, I know for a fact that they would be willing to do these things. It's just hard to ever come back from that, and in all reality, and to think that these people used to start out for the good, and now they've just turned evil. And I think that's exactly what it is, evil. So this is something that's problematic, and I think this is kind of where we are. Hey guys, it's nice to see you all. Days, Trees, Karen, it's nice to see you. Stacy, good afternoon. VA, it's nice to see you. Lisa B. Always, Beach Lady, Jenny, I said hi to you, Stacy, already, and then Southern. Is there anybody else? It's nice to see you guys. I decided to go live on this channel because we will be doing a live later tonight. And the live later tonight will be kind of, I'm not going to be in the office. I'll be here, but I'll be doing it from the computer. And we'll open it up for some call-ins and everything, but that will be on the main channel. And that will be tonight at around 8. So we're going to be here for about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then we're going to have a nice break. And then we're all going to be meeting over on the main channel for this evening to have some more in-depth conversation about Sebastian Rogers. So for those that are just coming in, I always start with just in case somebody's new to the channel, somebody's new to me, somebody's new to the case. We all have to start somewhere, and this case is still very, very new. It's just a little over 100 days. He's been gone 101 full days. Today marks the 102nd day. So by tomorrow morning, he's been gone a full 102 days. And that is a really long time when you're a medically needy person that relies on your parents for everything. It becomes harder and harder to believe that this child just ran away. It's becoming harder and harder to believe that this child just ran away for a number of reasons. Mostly the reason why is because he doesn't leave the house without his shoes. He doesn't leave the house very much. Every time he does leave the house, he's usually with an adult, usually one of his parents. He's very dependent on his parents. He doesn't know how to live life without parents. They have not found him above land anywhere. They have not found him on camera, even though they state he would be walking. Even if he left at midnight, at 3 a.m., at some point he'd have to walk during the day, and he would have to be on camera. That is not the case. And according to Chris Proudfoot, the best part about it is he left no evidence. So there's been a lot of speculation when it comes to this case related to Katie. At first, all the speculation was on Chris because we only had one interview that we were all looking at. It was the green shirt interview. Many of us didn't even know he had interviewed prior to that green shirt interview. But during that green shirt interview, our folks, overanalyzed that video very well. and noticed a lot of scratch marks that were present on Christopher Proudfoot's arm. So naturally, we have a missing boy and a man that has all of these marks all up and down his arm. It's not a comfortable feeling, okay? So a lot of our eyes went directly on Chris Proudfoot, and we believed Chris Proudfoot did one of two things. He either lied about being home that weekend, or he had a stealth mission because he's the one that approached Seth. He's the one that had disciplinary issues with Sebastian. He's the one that appeared, for all intents and purposes, that he did not like Sebastian. Sebastian was an artard. He was Katie's PUSSY son, and the hard man, the manly man Chris is. He just can't stand a kid that's just not like him. That's just not the manly man. He needs somebody to be smart, and he wants the kid that's going to be winning the football game so he can point and say, "That's my boy." He can't stand this defective being around him, and I think it wore on Katie. But there's been a lot of, as the private investigators started doing their work, there's been a lot of information that has come out that kind of support the fact that Christopher Proudfoot was not home that weekend. So once we started getting wind of that, our focus turned to Katie. Katie Proudfoot was the last person to see Sebastian before he went to bed. Katie Proudfoot was the only person inside the home when he went to bed. Katie Proudfoot's statements after the 9 o'clock he went to bedtime, Katie's story is a little wonky. But moreover, the problem that I'm having a lot with not only Katie's story, it's the lack of information and detail for the day before Sebastian disappeared. For me, that is a very important day. For me, that is a very telling day. A lot of people know that with Sebastian's condition, he could have episodes when he's overstimulated. And these episodes would prevent him from sleeping or sleeping properly. And you can imagine how difficult that would be for a parent if their child needs to go to school the next day. Now, while we don't know what happened inside that home, we do know that it appears, okay, it has an appearance that something happened right around 9:43 to 9:46 at night, or just shortly, a minute or two prior to that moment. And the reason why I believe that is because that's when Katie called Chris. Chris didn't call Katie. Katie called Chris, and then they were on the phone for 3 hours after that. But what Katie wants us to believe is that she was falling asleep on the couch at 10 and didn't get up until right before she was going to her bed, where she fell asleep in her bed. And she wants to make sure we know she slept, of course. Obviously she slept. It's obvious that she slept. So now we're looking at it as clearly there's something that happened there. She's wanting us to believe that she went to sleep. So that kind of makes me feel like she left the house around midnight. That's kind of what that information leads me to believe. Do I have a crystal ball? Do I know this for a fact? No. A lot of this stuff is theory and speculation based upon fact. What's the fact? The fact is that she states she was on the couch, and her story doesn't make sense. That's what fact is, okay? What part of her story doesn't make sense? Well, it's a little confusing how she's on the couch. She calls her husband but falls asleep within 13 minutes and stays that way for 2 hours while speaking to her husband that she's supposed to be sleeping on the phone with, and then also studying for her course and reading a chapter for her DeVry college course. And then all of a sudden, Chris is on the other end of the phone screaming at her to wake up so she could go to put the dogs in their cage and go to bed. The story doesn't, I mean, it sounds okay. When you start thinking, okay, wait a minute. They were on the phone for 3 hours while she was studying and falling asleep. And she dozed off on the couch for an hour and then woke up and then immediately went off to bed and went to sleep right at midnight. It's a little interesting. It's a little interesting to say the least, and we've got enough interviews to know that Katie is adamant that she needs us, the public, as well as law enforcement, to believe that she went to bed at midnight. That is apparent on its face. So why does she need us to believe that? And the only reason why I think she needs us to believe that is because she clearly wasn't in her bed sleeping, and that's why she needs us to convince us that she was. So what did she do at midnight? What could she have done at midnight? Well, everything would have needed to be done and wrapped up by 3 a.m. for Chris to be on his way, and actually by 2 a.m. for Chris to be on his way and present at work by 5:15. So what happened in that 2 hours? We don't know those light sources. We don't know when they are. Seth said in his interview that the time truly was stuck at 3:11 in the morning. So it's going to be very difficult to find or identify what time that truly was. Only the fact that it had to have been taken that night. But it's going to be very difficult to try to determine how to roll back the clock and figure out what time it could be. You know, sometimes they're off an hour to equate for daylight savings, like they forgot to change the time on their stuff. If it's hooked up to the internet, it typically changes all by itself because the internet triggers the new time. Just like your phones and your cell phones, you don't have to change the times on those. The internet changes it when there's, and whenever we roll ahead an hour or roll it back an hour. So let me go through here and see if we got any questions. Everybody just saying, hey, it's nice to see everybody. Thank you all for coming here. Seth Rogers now takes money for interviews. And that's absolutely not true, and I don't like misinformation. That was absolutely a lie perpetrated by I don't know who. Seth Rogers was never at CrimeCon. So that came from somebody saying he was at CrimeCon and he wouldn't do an interview without paying. That was a lie. And this is what I don't understand, is how people can be so gullible to think that. Some anonymous person tells you that, and you just automatically believe them and start going into people's chat and putting that in there. Without even doing one scintilla of fact-finding. Did you even bother reaching out to the dude and asking about it? Or do you just like perpetrating misinformation? I don't get it. No offense, but you guys need to realize he wasn't at CrimeCon, okay? So how did he turn down or tell somebody at CrimeCon, physically at CrimeCon, that he will not do an interview without being compensated? Just asking for a few friends. He said the dog scratched him in the interview. Can't remember who. I remember that. I think it was Smiley's World's interview. Having small dogs, they don't leave the. No, we knew that, Lynn. You're right on the money. Yeah, we knew that immediately. I looked at those. The width of it's too wide, without a doubt. Like their paws are smaller than the width of two scratch marks. So there's no way. Yeah, I agree 100% all day long. I'm trying to put together another timeline for Monday a.m. Sebastian was reported missing. Times of calls, who originated the call, who was called. It just doesn't add up. Well, I find, Lisa, that is great, but this is what I find odd, and I think people overlook. Chris was the last person that she called when she went to bed that night, allegedly, and he was the first person she called when she woke up. Okay? That's pretty telling. That is pretty telling. A 3-hour conversation the night before, and then from the time she called him that morning, she never got off the phone with him until law enforcement was there. So how long was she on the phone with him the next morning? Nobody's even bothered even asking that question. They're so focused on the 3-hour conversation. But it sounds to me, if she called him at 6, and they didn't call law enforcement until 6:33, 6:34, why did it take them 30 minutes? What were they talking about on that 30 minutes before law enforcement was finally called? I'd like to know. Just like I'd like to know what was on that phone call for 3 hours. Listening while cleaning storage. Oh, okay. Well, God bless you. God bless you. Hey, Michelle, it's nice to see you. And all my mod squad, Sonia, Jen, whoever's in here, good evening. I don't know if, trying to see who all's in here. Oh, I see Drew in here. Chicken Lady, it's nice to see you. How do we know Katie was the last one? Just saying, because she said she was. She was the last. She said he went to bed and she woke up and he was gone. We haven't had one credible sighting since. I don't know. That's what's being said. Okay, that's what's being said by law enforcement. It's what's being said by Seth. It's what was said by the PIs. It's what was said by Katie. I mean, I don't know. It's just whoa. It's just what was said. My boyfriend canceled while I'm falling. Cancel. I think he meant my boyfriend called while I'm falling asleep, and the phone he just hangs up. Oh, when you're on the phone with him, Michelle, if you're falling asleep, he just hangs up. Yeah, it seems weird. Why would he have the need to force her off the couch? Like I think of it all the time. Like my mom's fallen asleep on the couch before. I've fallen asleep on the couch before. I don't recall anybody coming and waking us up, and telling us to go to bed. Once you're sleeping, you're sleeping. So why was it so important for him to make her go to bed? And why was it so important for her to fall asleep at midnight? I don't know. Hey, Drew. It's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well. Victoria, Kelly, it's nice to see you as well. June. Did you get rid of Sebastian's bed? Did they get rid of Sebastian's bed? I don't know. There was a bed in the garage that was kind of a weird, thing. I'm sorry, I don't know people that in a household like that are going to use used mattresses. I'm sorry. Mattresses are cheap enough, like this queen mattress that I got on my bed right now. I think I got, and this is a breathable. It's not inner spring. What is it? Gel foam or whatever it is. Fully foam. It's a mattress. Fully foam mattress. It's like a 10 or 12-inch mattress, right? And this thing cost me, I think, to have it shipped to my house was like under $300. Nobody's going to use a used mattress. I'm sorry, they're just not going to. Mattresses are ultra cheap this day and age. Who's going to bring somebody else's, body? I mean, that's really what it is. That's why we don't like. I mean, we will buy mattresses. Like all of us in college have had to use used mattresses. I mean, I unless you got parents that can afford a whole bunch, but I had to save my money to furnish my first apartment. So. When I was 20, I was a dumpster diver. I'm a proud dumpster diver. If I had the time, energy, and the stuff that I had back then, I probably would still be in the dumpsters, right? But in my 20s, I had to fill my home. I actually purchased, I didn't get it from the dumpster, but I actually had to purchase a used mattress. My first mattress was a used mattress. You call the people. They were older, so I wasn't so concerned. In 20, you really don't care. It had no stains on it. It came from a smoke-free home, and they had no pets. You couldn't get any luckier than that. I think I spent $75 on my very first mattress in my very first apartment. But I used a used mattress. I'm 44 years old now. And I'm not rich. I live in a small little house. I'm perfectly content. But there ain't no way I'm going to sleep at this point in my life on a used mattress. Now, if I had children at my age, my children would not be laying on a used mat unless I absolutely had to. And I would be just like every other parent. When you call in, you're asking where the bed is it in here, who slept on it, all this other stuff. But me personally, I'm at a point in my life, for $300, I'd rather have a brand new mattress. Just saying. So I don't know what is going on with that mattress, but I just don't see Chris and Katie, the posh lifestyle that they live, that they are going to use somebody else's mattress. They don't look like that type of people. I'm sorry, they just don't. Katie and Sebastian come in during the night for snacks and interview. Comes out of his room for snacks. He comes in outside of the garage. You're going to need to explain that a little more, Emily. I'm not quite following what you're saying here. Katie and Sebastian comes in during night for snacks and interview. Not he comes out of his own room for snacks. Not that he goes out of his own room for snack. He comes in from outside or garage. We need clarification on that. We wake up each other if we fall asleep in other places. Maybe Chris don't like knows sleeping on the couch. Speculation. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. He's a control freak. You know, it is possible. I'm not gonna say that wouldn't be plausible. But we have to also look at the fact that she put the dogs in the cage. And that doesn't make sense to me if they usually sleep in the bed for her. Every oddity known to man happened that night, according to Chris and Katie. Every oddity. You know, this one night, out of all the nights that the dogs sleep in the bed, this is the one night that they're in the cage. Out of all nights that, you know, for Sebastian to run away, this, you know, without shoes, jacket, his switch or his cell phone just happens to be this night. You know, Sebastian walks out of the house without his shoes on when he's never walked out of the house without his shoes on unless there was something important or an emergency. Yet we have a boy walking out not only without shoes, but in the middle of the night in dark when he doesn't like dark, doesn't like dirt, is allergic to grass, among other things. I don't know how to make it make sense, but to me, it just, this story seems like it was put together very quickly and in a pinch. And I keep wondering why at the very beginning, before they knew this was going to blow up into the case that it blew up into, it's a little crazy because they just wanted to acknowledge he ran away. He was just a runaway. They would not allow anybody to believe that he was abducted because they knew that by the abduction theory, it would have brought a heavier law enforcement personnel in, and they needed to make sure law enforcement as well as the world knew that this was not an abduction. They have a strict house. They have their house secure. All the windows and doors were locked. This is just a 15-year-old boy that had a temper tantrum and ran away in the middle of the night, just didn't take anything, not even his shoes, in freezing cold weather. Now, it wasn't freezing like below 32, but it was cold that night. It was cold, anywhere between 30 and 50 degrees. That is chilly. Okay, for a boy that has sensory issues and the fact he doesn't like dirt, people don't understand. Many people don't understand. This boy would have been freaking out. Freaking out. It would have been uncontrollable for him. And you're talking about a noticeable freaking out. This is not somebody that would just be like us and say, okay, I got a little dirt on my shoes, just keep on walking. Like, he would have freaked the F out. Being out there in the cold, dirt, middle of the night, dark, lost. I don't see how he would not be completely noticeable. He would be like a walking bullhorn. Why you bullshitting? Excuse me for saying that. I just had to throw that in there for effect. Pray Sunday. My preacher's still probably not going to be happy. But hey, I'm working on it. But that was intentional. So I wasn't working on it too well. I have a lot of guilt when I cuss, okay? I'm sorry. I have a lot of guilt. Got a lot of guilt. I don't know why. Sun is rubbing off on me. I feel this thing called guilt, okay? I don't like it. Pretty soon I'm gonna be saying fudge sickles, frickin'. And you're gonna hear have Sonia's hands up in the air. Hallelujah! All these prayers. I've been praying for so long. I know Buddy's got it in her. I know she's got it in her. I know she can do it, Lord Jesus. can. I believe I can. I just get it. I'm almost there, guys. And just this close. I'm just close. I have to be honest with you. I was doing really good for like the first half of the year. Well, we're only through the first half of the year. Okay, well, the end of last year, I was doing really, really, really good. And then I kind of got in a really bad mood because I didn't like people. I didn't like bullies. And then my car broke down to boot. And so I was really, really in a bad spot. So I noticed that my cursing does have some type of connection with what is going on in my personal life, if that matters. You guys know now that when I start cussing more than I usually do, there must be something going on behind the scenes. It's a telltale sign, behavior traits. See, I even have behavior traits that you guys can monitor and follow. Just saying. Just saying. But anyways, that's the problem that we have. Now, does anybody know, has Chris and Katie been on, still going on those channels? There's no laughing matter, but just FYI, I almost peed myself. Betty, on Smiley's interview, CP says they did have a Ring camera. We need to find that. Where is that on her? Because I don't want to go back and, I mean, I've listened to, well, I mean, we're going to listen to it again eventually because we're going, I mean, we're almost through this little pivot in the road. You know, everybody's like, oh, Betty wore the shirt, you know, so they can just start just coming after. Well, one chick never leaves me alone. She's freaking psycho. But, you know, I mean, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you, I'll wear whatever I damn well please. And if anybody has a problem with it, that's too bad. You know, oh, well, you don't want to be on a shirt, quit being such shady bitches. That's all I got to say. You know, doing all this dirty crap behind the scenes. You know what you did. You know what you're doing. And you guys were wrong. You blame me for something I had nothing to do with, and you know who did. And you guys just let him just walk right off, right? At my expense. Well, okay. You guys were wrong, and you guys defamed me, and you guys did a lot of dirty shit to me for no reason, and I wasn't the culprit. So that's your foul. But you guys will never acknowledge that you lied or did the things that you did. So since we have to bring it all out to public, might as well. So enjoy that. Eat that. You're not that important to me. That was sent to me. I'd be honest with you. I just grabbed, they're acting like I wanted to present it. No, you know what? To be honest with you, that shirt, it's been in my armoire, okay? Well, if you really want to know the truth, I've been lazy, and so my laundry is laying on my ex-husband's bed unfolded. So what had happened that morning is I was going live, and so I changed my shirt. I grabbed, now mind you, it's 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I grab a shirt out of the armoire, stick it on. It's a gray shirt like many of my shirts, right? Got on, went live. It was just that simple. It wasn't even that big of a deal. But see, they think I actually think about them. No, I don't. I don't even wear the shirt. You know why? Because I didn't want to cause the problem. The only reason why it happened to be on me that day is because I put it on at 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even look at the shirt. I grabbed the shirt out of the armoire, put it over my head, and that's how it happened. But you know what? I think next time I wear it, it's going to be intentional, and we'll make sure we show all of it. The whole shady bunch. The whole shady bunch, right? So, I just wanted to make sure that we did. And whatever lovely sub sent me that shirt, I wanted to tell you all thank you so very much for sending me that. Because, you know, oh. Yeah, that's kind of a little offensive. Let's go ahead and hide you. I'm a lady. If you can't treat me like a lady, you don't, and speak to me like a lady, you don't need to be in here. Who cares? Who cares is a shirt, who gives a crap? I know. But apparently somebody does. So whoever sent me that shirt, if you were trying to trigger somebody, apparently you triggered the drama community. So, oh no, they deserve the slow clap. Hold on. Come on, guys. Join in with me. Whoever sent that shirt deserves the slow clap. The shady bunch. Slow clap. So, you know, if you didn't even point it out, I wouldn't even have realized it, to be honest with you. But next time it's definitely going to be intentional. And I'm going to sport that. You know what I think I should do? I think I should sport, because see, nobody knows who those things are, right? Only a few of us know who those people are, right? So it's not like they're advertising, because they suck. Nobody likes them. Like literally nobody. Go look at nobody likes them. They're still in this deluded phase that everybody likes them. Nobody likes them. Everybody thinks they're bullies on here. They're disgusting, vile pieces of garbage that are uneducated. Literally uneducated. Uneducated individuals with a microphone and a chip on their shoulder. Miserable people that like to perpetrate misery on other people. See, what happens is a lot of these people have what is known as abandonment issues. Like, say, when family members die and stuff like that, you know, they have abandonment issues. It's a childhood trauma. It sometimes makes them overeat, and it sometimes makes them bullies because it's a coping mechanism. You know, we see it all the time. So I don't know what, you know, Tweedledee or Tweedledum issues are, but clearly there's issues there, right? I mean, it's obvious. To attack somebody this vehemently over something you thought she did that she didn't do is pretty stupid. But hey, your attorney's doing a great job spending your subscribers' money. So we'll just let him keep doing that. We'll just let him keep doing that. They could just answer. Just saying. All right, so now that we're done with that, now that we know that Bullhorn Betty really doesn't give a crap, I'll be happy to wear a shirt, but you know what? They feel like they're emboldened. Like, oh, Betty noticed me! Because they're psychos. They noticed me. We never talk about them, ever. We don't ever bring up their name, don't go over here unless they start crap with us, but they're always starting crap with people so they can be talked about because they're little children that need negative attention because they're not getting attention any other way. So there's my stuff. You're right, her subscriber will back her all the way. Oh, I don't really care. She's got a small little sliver of subscribers that live in a echo chamber. They're never going to grow. That's about as big as their echo chamber is. Now you know that there's like 16,000 dirtbags on the streets of YouTube. That's about it. Okay, out of billions and billions of people, we know we got about a 16,000 echo chamber of pieces of garbage that are on these streets of YouTube. So if you don't want to be part of that 16,000, you're going to have to make decisions for yourself. That's all I'm saying. So, at least I had a shirt on. See? Tina bringing the silver lining. Right? We always look at the silver lining on it, and she's absolutely right. Hey, at least I was wearing a shirt. But we know damn good and well if I wasn't, I'd look better than any of them. They gotta be so woo that they can't even show their face. Can you imagine that? I mean, we did see gums that day. Remember that? I wonder if they're going to use this against me in a court of law. I hope they do. That show them how bad, the worst thing that Betty's ever done compared to the worst thing that they've ever done. BHB doesn't want my money. How about that, haters? Oh, they'll take your money, honey. They'll take your money. They like to call everybody else grifters. But the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? I love that, though. And this is another thing. Like everything that they said, we saw pretty and we just let it just chill and let it simmer. And they turned in because I kept saying that they're doing this stuff to defame me. Look over here so you're not looking at nasty ass the stuff that they're doing over there, right? All that crap that they're doing over there. And guess what? It all came out in the wash, didn't it? Now everybody knows. Everybody knows. Because I can guarantee you out of the whole time I've been on this, my subscribers have never given me $70,000 or $40,000 for that matter. I don't sit on my ass. I actually get out and work for it. But hey, if you got it like that, you know, Okay. Okay. I hope you got it like that at the end of this. I hope you got it like that at the end of this. That's all I got to say. So we're back on track, and I know that they're trying to pull us off track because we're being so adamant about pulling our channel away from all of this garbage and nonsense. And so I figured I'd spend 5 minutes on this, be my one and done, and I'm going to wash that shirt so we can wear it again. Now that I know where it's at and I have it, like I to be honest with you, that shirt was sent to me. Oh, good gracious. 9 months ago? 10 months ago? I don't remember when I got that shirt. But it was a significant while ago. And like I said, I just threw it in my armoire. I had not worn it. And again, I got I've been kind of dealing with a whole lot of stuff. So I've been, like I said, I've been a little slobby lately. I've been honest with you. And so if you really want to go see my husband's bed, just don't be shocked. That's all I got to say. The clothes are washed. I just never folded them up or put them away. So it was, I was kind of down to the bottom of the armoire, if you get my drift. Okay? I think it was an honest mistake, but I believe things happen for a reason. And I did not know I grabbed that shirt that morning. So, I got to say that, maybe God don't like ugly. I don't know. I don't know how it got on me. I just know I did reach in there, and it was a gray shirt I grabbed, and it was a gray shirt I put over my head. But I have to be honest with you, I didn't realize what was on that shirt until it came out today. I don't think I ever paid attention to the damn shirt. I have to be honest with you. I'm like, I looked at that. I'm like, oops. I didn't even realize I had it on. I will be honest with you. I didn't even realize I had it on because all of my videos, I only seen this part of me. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm in this room all day. It's not like I'm walking and looking down, And when I'm here, you guys see how much work I do. But man, they were paying awfully close attention to Betty, weren't they? I mean, if I didn't even notice I was wearing the shirt, it's kind of funny that they did, don't you think? Can you imagine how much they must have paid attention? I bet you they had to look at the video, slow it down, right? And they go, oh my God, did you see this? Oh, screenshot that, screenshot. Oh, you got to send this over here. Can you imagine all of that? That sounds like a bunch of teenage children. Teenage children. And believe it or not, these people have kids. I wonder what their children are going to be like in a few years. I bet you they're going to be as rotten as their damn parents. And we're going to all have to deal with it. So, just saying. I can guarantee my kids wouldn't be acting like that. No, they would not. I believe in corporal punishment. I don't mind smacking them on the back of their head. And I don't care who it offends. Just to let you know. So, there is that. We love Sebastian. We're going to get back on Sebastian. There's going to be a detour. We're going to be on the main channel tonight at 8 o'clock. I want everybody to be there, be square. We're going to be doing some breakdowns of the interview. It's going to be important work. You're all going to want to be there. Pass this around. Let everybody know. 8 o'clock, Bullhorn Betty. Be on the channel. If you're not there, I'm going to put coal in your stocking on Christmas time. I've got a naughty and nice list. I'm just saying. We already know who's going straight to hell, so we can just take them off the list entirely. And that's that. So you guys have an amazing evening, and I'll see you back here in what? An hour and a half? Is that right? Yes, an hour and a half. We'll be back here in an hour. No, not back here. We'll be on the main channel in an hour and a half. And we'll see how many stalkers we have over there that come from Queen Bee's channel after I've told her and her people to stay off mine, right? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But my mods are there to screen capture everything. So please, by all means, bring your little crowns over to my chat. Love it. God bless.